Go.
So I found myself here at Life Choices Family Medical, and which was truly God ordained because it really was the only facility in my area where I was moving back to that I could, get to, and have the medication given to me on a weekly basis. So I would take it I would come every week, for the first trimester or first trimester. I would come every week. And I remember when I first got here, just the environment alone was like, wow, okay. I mean, very clean, very professional. Um, I even looked up at one of the memoirs on the ceiling, and it was Bible scriptures. And I was just like, okay, um, I feel and see God all through here too. So I guess I'm still being led. So we're going to keep going with this. And I just knew I was somewhere that I could call home. Like this is where I want to have my care, my, maternal care and care for my baby. I want to have this here. They look like they're on their stuff, and the staff were so friendly. The staff were so just welcoming. I remember feeling so welcomed. At every last visit, I always felt the same amount of welcome, the same amount of love, the same, like we're on the same page, like, hey, you believe, I believe, we're going to get through this. And so knowing that and, having those open arms, it just let me know that this is where I want to have my care. Every week, I would come in and I would see Robin, and I would have an ultrasound done, and then I would see the provider. But every week, it was scary because I didn't know whether or not, baby had lost a heartbeat or anything like that. So every single week, Robin and I met, and I was always looking forward to seeing Robin. And just knowing that being in her presence was such a joy. I will say that. Being in Robin's presence is such a joy because she always made me feel so kept. Like, I got you, girl. We are going to get through this. Listen, we have faith. We walk by faith. And I felt strong knowing that I was in Robin's care every time she navigated her skills and seeing my baby and showing me up on that screen and knowing that, things are moving along, things are growing, things are developing how they should. I knew that I was in good hands. And it made me feel that much more confident. It made me feel that much more confident in my pregnancy and knowing that I'm going to go through this and have an actual successful pregnancy after actually attempting to abort my child. Every week, I would see Robin, and then either Tammy or Angela would come in and just, check everything out, make sure everything is good, and just give me that ultimate care. And they were so supportive. Everyone was so supportive, and making sure that I, had my progesterones, made sure I had enough. Everything was, done and good with insurance, everything. They just made sure everything was top notch. I would look forward every single week to making sure, like, hey, things good with the baby, And every week there was more progress. Every week there was, another, development that was happening, and it was just like, wow, this is really happening. Baby's really growing. Baby's strong. Baby's growing strong, and I knew I had a little warrior in me. I'm like, this baby's fighting, and against all everything I was going through on the outside, that I'm sure she probably felt in her development, in my own life, in my personal life, outside of the womb. Baby stayed strong. Baby definitely is a warrior. And had it not been for, there even being a such thing as an abortion reversal, you know, I wouldn't be here telling you this. I wouldn't be here sharing this testimony. So I am very grateful that, the development of progesterone, and administering that abortion pill reversal is available, for so many others that may be in the same situation, or have thought about it, or, went and took that first pill and had the second thoughts and decided, no, wait, this isn't what I want to do. I don't want to do this. There is possibility now. There's hope. There is hope out there now. And so that is, you know, paving the way for, I think, a lot more families to, be families, children to come in and change the world and do what God called them to do ultimately.
Perfect. Yeah.
I do want to um, just be able to relate to other women that may have faced life challenges or anything that may have left them with the decision of terminating their pregnancy. Um, just knowing that there is that hope and possibility that, you know, you can survive this if you have that change of mind. I was scared. I was hopeless. I felt like I was defeated. If I can relate to one woman out there, you know, that may have had the same set of feelings, I would describe it as just, like I said, fear and hopelessness, you know, and I want women to know that they can do this, if they change their mind. I know what it feels like to be in a place in your mind where you're just like, no, I'm doing this and that's it, but for anybody to have even the second thought, you know, it's worth it. It's worth, taking that chance to, you know, survive, have your life survive and save a life, right? And save a life, and I chose life. I chose to save a life, because I didn't want to face the guilt, and I want to encourage any woman out there, to not have to sit and deal with the guilt, because there is guilt that comes with it. I don't think there's one woman on the face of the earth that willingly was, willing to go and abort and not even think about it, to not later feel like any kind of guilt, and it's nothing against anyone, whatever decision they make is what they make in their life. For me, I didn't want to live with that. I didn't want to live with knowing that, I don't know what he or she could have grew up to become, and God used them, or they be the next, president or life changer or life saver or whatever, um, I'm just grateful that I made that decision. And, I want to encourage other women, if you can save a life, save it. I knew I shouldn't have. Who am I? Who am I to feel like, no, this life isn't worthy of living because of where I am in my own personal life. Like, no, that shouldn't be the case at all. And that's where I knew I was going to have to trust God with my own life while choosing to give her life, because I am not the one to give or take life, That's God. So I never felt judged at life choices. Never once. And that's another thing I know that I'm sure any woman who's maybe had an abortion feels judged, from others that, they may share that with her and may know they feel judged. And knowing that I tried, I put myself in that category of women that went on and had an abortion, because you may as well say that I tried. I literally was there. I took a pill. I attempted. So therefore, you know, um, there is some guilt and shame that comes with that. So knowing that I went into a facility of providers that never showed 1 ounce of, you know, judgment, it really, really made me secure. It really made me secure in knowing that, you know, I am making the right decision. And, you know, it made me feel, yeah, definitely triumphed. And them making me feel that I can succeed with bringing a life into this world, knowing that my life was still in pieces. You know, that's one of the main reasons I know for me of even making the decision to want to abort. So knowing that I was surrounded by support and supportive women at home and at my doctor's office. So it's like double portion of support. I knew that I was going to be able to succeed and, you know, triumph over, you know, what was set out to, you know, cause me to fall and have to live with that guilt, you know. And who knows, I could have decided to do that and still been out in Cali and felt completely empty inside, you know. And I wouldn't have wanted to live with that. I wouldn't have wanted to live that way, you know, knowing that this was still a child that was developed on the inside of me and for me to take its life. So, no, I'm glad I gave life. I chose life. Upon me finding the number from the abortion pill hotline, there in that moment, as I was sitting and waiting on them to call me back with the provider, the Holy Spirit, he was there, and he was like, go to YouTube and just type in abortion pill reversal. And I went to YouTube and I found a video of like an actual, like another one of these, almost an interview of a young woman who went through dang near the same thing. And she, you know, was sharing her story and her testimony, and how, you know, her parents were so, you know, or her father was so, you know, against it. And once I saw her story, I just knew, I was glued. I was like, oh my God, she did this and she survived. And look at her baby. Her baby is healthy, happy, full of joy. And I'm just like, this could possibly be my story as well. Like, to bring my baby out of this and, you know, have that happy life, and she be here in my arms and, you know, grow up. And I was just like, whoa. And do you know, I found a way to contact her. I contacted her through Facebook, and I was just so amazed and so surprised that she responded to my messages or my message, and we messaged back and forth. But you know, she was responsive, and she was encouraging, and she was helpful and loving, and just like, wow, you're a survivor of this, and you know, answered my call. You know, just because just wanted to reach out and just say, hey, you know, how did this work for you? Like, how did you feel? Like, I'm going through this. I'm a little scared. What should I expect? Da 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 da. You know, and she was so helpful. And here we are, a year and so later, now post baby, and two women have reached out to me via social media. And at first, I was like, oh my gosh, like someone just reached out to me. Like, what do I say? Lord, I don't know, you know. And I just would let the Lord lead me in what to say. And, you know, I messaged them back. I was like, no, who am I to withhold? You know, when someone else, God put someone else in my path and in my path to have done this miracle for. And now here I am coming along, and he's showing me his glory, you know what I mean? Is showing me him and doing the same for me, you know, and now here I am gonna do the same for others. So I am just like, no, I'm all game when it comes to showing up and letting this testimony out and letting this story out, because I do want to be able to pay that forward to another woman, even if it's just one, even if it's just one, you know. And those two reached out to me, and I told them, you know, listen, I pray with you, and I just wish you all the well, and pray that God would do the exact same thing for me and for the other, that, you know, and do that same for you, you know.
How did they know you were
They
you did the
knew
abortion? Are you
they
in that website? Are you in that
um
Facebook page?
I
That
think I am, but they told me through through hashtagging.
oh, you might have done it.
Yeah,
You are a
yes, I
hashtag.
did. I posted. I
Oh,
began to post, a little bit here and there. And at first I was scared to let it out on social media that I was even pregnant because I just didn't know how it would be taken from others and let alone that I was about to abort. So I did begin to start to slowly share my story on my posts and put it out there that I'm pregnant, and that I'm an abortion reversal patient. And so as you go through my, feed, you can see that I have a little progression of every milestone and every month of my pregnancy. And, all the way into here she is. Any girl, woman that is in the Tampa Bay area that is in need or in search of a facility, a doctor's office that does support abortion pill reversal, Life Choices Medical is where you want to go because they are going to take care of you. They are going to take care of you and that baby. And make sure that you go through a happy, healthy pregnancy and that you come out victorious on the end, you and your little one or little ones.
yeah, because we
You
have a lot
come
of
at,
twins.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of
Yep.
twins,
So it
abortion
was a
pills,
success.
twins.
It's truly a success story, and it's crazy to look and be like, wow, I'm a part of this success story and seeing myself come out on the other end like that.